Good morning, Year 3. So today we are on our Thursday's English lesson, but before we started the learning, I just wanted to share with you something that we've been building up this week in our classroom. So, our working wall for the Iron Man. Now, people have been sending us photos of their Iron Man in from home. So we've got Megan's, Eli, Toby and Elsie. I think those are all our Iron Men for the minute. If you've got a picture of yours or even an Iron Cat, send us your photos and we will add them to the wall. We've also got some fabulous pictures and adjectives from Stanley and Albie. So just thought you might like to see our wall, and like I said, if you can email us with photos, we would love to add them. So today we're going to be continuing thinking about verbs. So as a quick recap from yesterday, we looked at some verbs in sentences. We had words like hammering, crying, he worried, baked, is baking, and will bake. So lots and lots of different verbs there. Let's have a think today about some more tricky verbs from the Iron Man. This is part of chapter 1, when the different parts of the Iron Man are searching for each other and trying to put him back together. It looked around, then it darted and jabbed one of the gulls with its stiffly held finger, then darted at the other and jabbed him. The two gulls flew up into the wind with a frightened cry. Slowly then the hand crept over the stones, searching. It ran forward suddenly, grabbed something and tugged. But the thing was stuck between two rocks. The thing was one of the Iron Man's arms. At last the hand left the arm and went scuttling hither and thither among the rocks till it stopped and touched something gently. Now, in that passage there are lots of interesting verbs that you might not know the meaning of yet. So we've collected together some verbs that we would find in the Iron Man. Dragged, darted, tumbled, glided, peered, peeped, jabbed, grabbed and strode. Now I would like you to have a little think for a moment. Do you know the meaning of any of those words? Could you describe them to your mum or dad? So maybe pause the screen for a moment and have a think about the meaning of those words. Now, we would like you to work out the meaning of those words, and it could be through using a dictionary, using an online dictionary. It could be through looking back through your first chapter of the Iron Man and trying to work out what the word might be in a sentence. For example, the Iron Man tumbled down the cliff. Now, me and Mrs. Joshi have helped by giving you some of the meanings. So here they are. Now, I think probably the best thing to do would be to start with the top definition or meaning, which in this case is number 1, fell or collapsed. Now, looking down that list, falling, 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 let me think, which one of those makes me think about falling? Now, the word tumbled, the Iron Man tumbled down the cliff. So I think I'm going to link up tumbled and fell or collapsed. Lovely. Now, meaning number 2 is looked quickly or secretively. Now, there are 2 words here that make me think about looking, and they are peered and peeped. Now, if you're peering at something, you're kind of having a good old stare, maybe being a little bit nosy. But if I use the word peeped, yes, peeping out through between my fingers, that might be looking quickly and secretively. So I think I'm going to link up with peeped. Now, I might have to change this later. It might be that another one fits better, but I think that's the nearest word. Now, the third meaning is poked with something long and pointed. Right, I'm going to look at my remaining words. Any there that make me think about poking something? Yes, I think jabbed. Jabbed is the only word there that makes me think about poking something. So I am going to link that up. Now, I'm not actually going to do any more for you because I want you to be using dictionaries, using the book, using an online dictionary from the box below to help you work out the meanings. Okay, so now you've matched these together. I would like you to write 5 sentences using one of these verbs. So 5 sentences using one each of these verbs. Okay, so you don't have to do all of them, but if you're feeling like you'd like to challenge yourself, then you can do more than 5. And similarly, if you're finding it really tricky, do 3. Okay, now fell or collapsed was tumbled. You don't have to, but I think I'm going to link these words to the Iron Man story. So I've got to remember my full stops, my capital letters. I know it's going to have a verb in because it's going to have one of these words. So let's have a go. The huge, I'm going to use a lovely adjective, Iron Man, and I'm going to give him capitals because that's what we call him, that's his name. The huge Iron Man tumbled down the cliff. How could I make that more interesting? Now, I'm thinking of a chalky cliff like in Saltine where I live. So I'm going to do the huge Iron Man tumbled down the white chalky cliff. Now that might be different from what Ted Hughes thought about when he thought about his cliffs, but I'm going to use my imagination. The white chalky cliff. Now I'm happy with that sentence because it has my capital letter, it has a full stop, it has a lovely verb, and I think it makes sense. Let me read it back to myself. The huge Iron Man tumbled down the white chalky cliff. Now, just to make sure that wasn't a fluke, looking quickly and secretively, we decided it was peeped, didn't we? Now, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to start my sentence in a different way. I'm actually going to use the word secretively because I like it. So I'm going to use that as an adverb at the beginning. Secretively. Now, I'm going to check my spellings here. Secretively. Because it's a tricky word to spell. Secretively, and I need a comma here. Secretively, the glowing eye. Secretively, the glowing eye peeped at. Now, what could he secretively peep at? Peep at maybe I'll say at the hermit crab. Maybe he's working out how he can copy the hermit crab and scuttle along without needing a whole body. Secretively, the glowing eye peeped at the hermit crab. And again, let me check. Capital letter, full stop. I've got a verb, which is peeped, and I am happy that that sentence makes sense. So, can you use these verbs to write 5 sentences? Remember, go for your level of challenge. If you'd like to do 3 really good ones, that's fine. If you'd like to challenge yourself by doing more, that would also be fine. If you can get parents to take a picture of this and send it to us, that would be brilliant. So then I can really check that you've got all of your sentences correct. Look forward to seeing you on the Zoom later. Bye.